welcome back to Donuts in Space and part 1 of the HMS Daring build. This is basically a 1350 scout kit from Airfix, and it's of the Type 45 destroyer. You do get the decals in the kit to name a few different ships within the Type 45 destroyer range, but I'm going to be doing the HMS Daring. I'm also going to be using the Woodland Scenics water effects for this kit, as well as I did with the HMS Astute I. I'll be putting it in a similar base as well. The only difference between that one and this one is the fact that this is going to be in a bluish water compared to the greenish water that the Astute was in. We've also got some photo etch for the kit. Not much, to be honest, but yeah, you don't need much for this kit really, to be fair. So we've got that. That should be relatively easy to fit in. We've also got a Sea King for the ship as well. This is a clear kit, which is kind of cool, so it will leave the windows clear. All I need to do is mask them up and put them in. That I'll kind of build once I've got the ship stowed away, because I'm going to have this on the back deck of the ship. So the pour water, the deep pour water clear, is basically some type of resin that you can add tints to and what have you. So I've got the turquoise tint there for the water around the ship. When it's going through the water, it does add oxygen to the water as well, so that's why it does turn that kind of colour. We've also got some white for the highlights on some of the waves, so that's those two. We've also got the navy blue tint as well, which will be going on the bottom of the base, and that will actually seal the base. That will help to seal the base as well, so the resin doesn't disappear on me. We've also got the water ripples. Now this stuff, well, as it implies, it's used for water ripples. You can actually use it as well to create little waves as well, which is kind of cool. It does take a little while to go off, so you have to keep on working it until it does. And then you've also got the water waves as well, which is a bit stiffer than the water ripples. So this can actually be used around the bow of the ship and down the sides of the ship to get those kind of real nice waves to them as well. So that's those parts. So let's get rid of those for a second, and then we can take a look at the kit. So yeah, you've got the decals in there to do the HMS Daring, the HMS Dauntless, HMS Diamond, HMS Dragon, HMS Defender, and the HMS Duncan. So they're the ones that we've got. As I say, I'm going to do this as the Daring. No particular reason, to be fair, but it's just the name HMS Daring. It's just the name I like. With the HMS Dragon, you do actually get a red dragon decal that you can put on the bow of the ship, which is kind of cool. Now it's an Airfix kit, so you know we've just got to know that with an Airfix kit it's not really going to be that good really. In some areas it's going to fall apart, in other words you're going to need to do a lot of work to it. Let me just get scissors out, because this box hasn't been opened before. Well, the lid itself has been opened, but the actual kit hasn't been opened. So we'll just get the scissors and cut those off. I didn't realise that I hadn't cut that off. Right, okay, so that's that cut off. Right, let's move this box out of the way. It's too big a box for the workbench. Okay, so standard thing really. We've got let's get those out of the way a bit more. There we go. So we've got the destructions on the ship, I mean, I would presume that these are atypical instructions for the Airfix kits. I'm not really sure, to be fair, because I don't really build a lot of Airfix kits. In fact, I think this is going to be the first one. So, yeah. I mean, it's, looking at it, the instructions do look relatively straightforward, to be fair. I think the only thing that we need to be careful of is the photo etch, because as usual that is adding another layer of issues into the model itself with parts that don't fit well together in the first place. Then you add photo etch to the whole thing, and then before you know it, you got a recipe for disaster. So yeah, that is basically the instructions. And then at the end there, we do have the colour call outs for the ship. So I'm just going to need to see what I can do with those paints. I'm not really too sure at the moment what kind of paints that I can get for it, whether there's any kind of specialised paints for British military ships or anything. So anybody out there that does build ships or knows more about building the ships than I do, then please let me know. So that's the instructions for the kit. These are the decals. You don't get too many because you don't really need them. It's not a starship or anything like that where you've got completely decked out. I mean, we have got some decals there for I do believe the aft deck for the helicopter. We've also got some little circles for the weapons for the kit. I'm not sure what that one is, to be fair. These are the dragons that you can put on the bow of the ship, and then you've got the Union Jack and the George Cross with the Union Jack in it. I'm not sure which one of those I'm going to be putting on the ship, to be fair. And then you've just got the names that you can put on there, and you've also got the shields, or the insignia, should I say, that go on the ship as well. And then you've got the decal nameplates if you're actually using the stand, which I'm not, so I won't need those. So let's just put those back in the box before we lose those. And this is the photo etch set. As I say, not very big, but it's not a very big ship and it's not a complex ship, to be fair, so we don't need to go all out with tons and tons of photo etch. It's just not needed. So on there, by the looks of it, let's see if we can actually put that on there. Might be able to see it a little bit better. Let's just get my camera out, not the camera, sorry, let's just get the light out the way. There we go, that's a bit better. You can see it now rather than being glared on. So as you can see, just around here we've got the rotors for the helicopter, which are better than the ones that are in the Trumpeter kits, mainly because these are about as thin as they need to be, really, to be fair. You've also got the railings down around there. I do believe that those are for the ribbed speed boats that they've got, so they get lowered into the water that way. They're basically in their own enclosed space to reduce the visibility of the ship on other ships' radars, so you don't get too many open decks, etc. on it. And then it's just generally a load of other stuff. I'm not really sure of what's what or what it would be called, to be honest. I mean, down here as well we've got another set of blades, helicopter blades, or rotor blades, should I say. That's if you wanted to do the Lynx helicopter, which the Type 45 can take 2 of the Lynx helicopters or one of the Sea Kings, and I do believe it would be the same for the Type 23 frigate. I think they can take either 2 Lynx or one of the big Sea Kings as well. Or what are they called? No, they're not called. I keep on calling them Sea Kings, but they're not. I can't remember what they're called now. But anyway. So yeah, and then plus the fact you've also got the rotors that are folded up for both the variants of helicopter as well, which is kind of cool. And then you've got the little bit that twiddly little bit that goes on the top as well. And then, as I say, I'm not really too sure. Some of this stuff up around here is going to be for the antenna and the mast and the sonar, and not the sonar, the radio and whatever else they call it. To be fair, I'm not really sure. Sorry guys that are into or in serve on ships, I'm sorry, but I really don't know the technical details and the ins and outs of ships, to be fair. All I know is that some of them look really cool and I want to build them. And that's about as far as it goes, really. And then in the back here we've got basically what is uncomplicated. It's a Merlin helicopter, that's what I was thinking of, a Merlin helicopter. There you go, now I got it right. So yeah, this, to be fair, isn't looking that complicated. It gives you the, let's bring that back into line, there you go. So that gives you the parts of the ship, or the photoation. It tells you on there actually what they are, so I can actually learn as I build. And then it kind of right from there dives into what you're building. So yeah, fairly comprehensive list of stuff, 4 pages, and there's instructions on 7 of them, which is kind of cool. Oh, you've also got netting that goes around the side, so that's what some of that other stuff would be. There you go, and that's all for the helicopters. So there you go, that's those bits. So let's get that back in the little bag, because I don't want to lose that, otherwise I won't know what the hell I'm doing. Well, I'm bashing my head off of a brick wall because I lost the instructions for it. So we'll keep hold of those. So let's just get everything out of the bag in one go. Alright, maybe not. I left 2 screws behind. It's nice to know that there's no parts left in the bag, so none come off during transit, which is good. So let's have a look on here. Yeah, you see you've got one of the little Merlin helicopters, well, half of a Merlin helicopter there and one there. You've got rotor blades and everything, which is kind of cool. And then you've also got you've got the Lynx helicopter there, and again the folded up rotors. Won't be using those. All the bits that I don't use will be going into the parts bin. I've got enough in there, I do believe, to actually build a different type of ship. These will be the bay doors for the ribbed speedboats. Some of this down here I won't actually be using because, like the propellers and everything, because I'm going to be doing a waterline version of this kit. Because I'm putting it on a seascape, I don't need the propeller, so again all of those bits will go in the parts bin. Right, yeah, there's quite a few nice bits on there. You can't really see a lot of flashing on the parts on there, apart from a few really, but it's mainly, the flash is mainly concentrated onto the sprues, which is a good thing. I like that. Let me just put that over there actually. On here you've got parts for the bridge. I do believe these are parts that go on the hull of the ship that's in the water. I think that's part of the I think they might be part of the stabilizers for the side of the ship actually. You've also got the bridge in there. Now luckily enough, well, I say luckily enough, it wasn't, but when I was in hospital with sepsis, I actually had a guy in the bed next to me who was ex-Royal Navy, so I had a bit of a chat with him about the destroyers, because he actually did serve on destroyers and also on the Type 23 frigates as well. Which was good, so I was able to garner some information from him, because I wasn't really sure if the bridge was lit or how it was lit. Was it, you know, green lights, red lights, or what? And he basically said, well, it's a bit like you being in a car. You don't have lights on there, you don't have your lights on in the car, because otherwise you can't see out the window. So he said it's exactly the same thing with a ship. They don't have the lights on, so the only glow that you've got is actually coming from the instrument panel. So I will put a white SMD in there, but I just put the thinnest coat of, to me, a clear green on it. Then that way it just kind of gives you a slight hint of green. And obviously I'm going to have to tone the SMD right down as well to ensure it doesn't actually blast the whole thing with light. So here are the rib speedboats. One of the, I'm kind of thinking that one of the boat bays will actually be completely closed, and I think I might actually, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be doing this kit at a dead stop in the middle of the ocean, where we've, you know, and have the boat out on the water, the little rib boat out on the water, as though it's actually sort of driving to another ship, or to you know, to intercept a ship, and have the kind of helicopter banking off or whatever, as though that's going up in the air to lend support, etc. So I'm not really kind of too sure. I just think about that. I don't need to really think about that for the minute, to be fair. So let's have a look. This is where we could, excuse me, run into troubles, if I'm to be honest, because on this brew we've got one half of the hull. Is there? No, it's just a swirl in the plastic. There's quite a few swirls in the plastic actually, but yeah. So the hull is in two pieces. Well, actually three pieces, because you're missing half of the aft on this thing. So it's in three pieces. So that's going to be quite difficult to, you know, and could cause lots of issues. And then you've got parts of the superstructure as well. This particular part goes all the way up to the sensor suite, radar, dome thing, whatever you want to call it. I really don't know, to be honest. And then you've also got, on, I think it's this one here at the top, you've actually got the smokestack as well for the diesel engines. So that's pretty good. And then this one is pretty much, well, the same, to be fair, apart from the fact that this does give you the addition of the stand, and then you've also got two parts of the stand there as well. Those won't be used, so they'll be going in the parts bin. But again, down around here you've got other parts as well for the ship, and then the other side of the ship itself. And then here we've got basically the main deck and some of the parts of the superstructure. So the only other, so as I say, I'm going to have lighting in the bridge, and in the shuttle bay. Well, it's a shuttle bay. Sorry, it's not a Star Trek ship. Gee whiz. We've got the ribbed boat bays here. So one of them will be blocked off, or you know, at least one will be blocked off. Two, depending on what route I do go down. The hangar bay for the helicopter, again, I can actually put some red lights in there as well to simulate nighttime operations as well. So when the rear hangar deck door is open, you have a nice little red glow in there. And then obviously the wires would just be run under to the back of the base, where there'd just be a little simple ship on there. A little simple switch on there. But yeah, that's kind of about it really for this, to be fair. Again, this part here won't be used. And obviously the bulbous bow. That does actually lead me to the point where I could, if I wanted to, pretend that this was a different type of ship. I mean, holes are holes, really, to be fair, and I think most holes look the same when they're upside down, so you don't really know what kit's where. So I could, if I wanted to, actually do a diorama where you have actually got a ship that's capsized, with like people just milling about on the top, and maybe a rescue helicopter and some rescue boats, etc., coming in to save the day. But if I do that, that'll be a long time away, to be fair. It's just an idea that popped into my head, and it's, you know, you're not wasting parts then. I mean, apart from them going into the parts bin, really. But that is going to be about it, guys. I will catch up with you in part 2, where hopefully I would have got some work done to the superstructure of this ship. So until then, thanks for watching, and as always, please do take care.